This is morning one of our little trip, and as you might be able to tell, the weather's not too brilliant this morning. It's been a good test for the tarp though, the new one. I think I'm inside at the moment, so you can't really see much of it, but it has put up to the wind and it's waterproof, so can't say much fairer than that. I woke up this morning and looked out the side of the tarp and thought the trail star's moved. It's Phil and Steve's trail star there. However, everything's grey this morning, not just the trail star. We were a bit late out of the club last night and trying to find somewhere semi-flat to pitch up. Well, that's just about as good as we got, I think, a semi-flat pitch on a slight, well, quite a bit of a slope, but it's been alright. Adequate, and it's on a little hollow just on the side of yew barrow. So the plan is today yew barrow, red pike, some other tops, and I'm going to bought the Palmo a bit more later on. Here we are. Start day one, completed the horseshoe park. It's been an interesting morning with the weather. What's your opinions on the weather, Phil?
It's been changeable. Started off pretty overcast and nasty this morning, and we've had some patches of quite nice sun. And with the hail, it's been alright. It's been alright. It's not cold.
Definitely not cold, but it's been nice. It's been nice. It's been challenging, but not in a too challenging way.
Yeah.
And Mr. Horner as well.
Yeah, good way to test your gear out.
Yeah, it is. It's a good test of the lightweight gear.
Quite a good route, isn't it?
Yeah, would have been nice to see a bit more, but as you just starting to get a view of all the mountains, and there's the horseshoe we've just done. Hopefully get a bit of a nice weather and a bit of fishing later on. So here we are on night 2, after what turned out to be quite a long and tiring day. We got to the top of Kirk Fell on the last hill on the Mosedale Horseshoe quite early, but it was a very long and tedious descent going down. By the time we'd gone down there and had a couple of pints, we decided we'd go to Ambleshop, get a Chinese, and then head back into the hills and have a nice wild camp instead of a windy one. So we're on the lakes of Windermere, the banks of Windermere at the moment, in a little woodland glade, and it's turned out to be quite a nice little camp spot. It's the new tarp that I've been using, and it's performed brilliantly last night. Well, as brilliantly as a tarp can do. It didn't leak, it didn't blow away, and it didn't rip, so that'll do me. I think the whole thing, without the guy lines on, weighs about 215 grams, and it's made from what I thought was a silicon nylon, but I think it's actually a PU coated or some sort of coating on it anyway, because it does delaminate if the fabrics get folded, which silicon nylon won't. I'll just quickly run through the rest of the kit that I've got with me on this trip. The first thing there is the Bush Buddy Ultra, which I've been borrowed from Phil, which we've not had a chance to use yet because it's been so wet and windy and horrible. Hopefully we'll get something cooking on that later on tonight. Under the tarp is just the normal Go Light jam, and at the top of that's the £1 Tenkara rod, which I've already made a post about. It looks like it might work, and hopefully tomorrow, if the sun's out and we want to do a bit of fishing, we will do. Again, it's the homemade bivvy, which I've previously spoken about, and the bag I've got this time is a PhD Piccolo. This was their lightest one that they did, and I think the Minim Ultra is now lighter. It's just under 400 grams, and it's good in the summer anyway. It's rated down to 10, but if you use a 3-season down jacket with it, it takes it down a bit lower, but it was absolutely fine last night. It was quite nippy on the top between the wind and the rain. Under that I've got my least lightweight of all pieces of kit. A lovely great big inflatable pillow. I've tried loads and loads of different mats in the past. Not much actually changed the way I slept on a night time, but this pillow's actually has made a huge difference, and now I'm just using a homemade mat, which is basically 4 bits of old foam mat cut up and then taped up with a bit of gaffer tape. That weighs less than 80 grams. And that with a pillow combined, I find exceptionally comfortable. And I'll pop off in a bit and have a look in Phil and Steve's Trail Star and just go through what kit they've got as well. Right, there's the top, and now we're going to be talking to Mr. Turner about his kit that he's got. As you can see, he's got the lovely MLD Trail Star, which is just absolutely brilliant. Last night when we were on the 45-degree slope on the fells, and it was windy and horrible, we all stayed in there till about midnight having a few drinkies, and it was a very pleasant shelter to be in. Right, so what can you tell us about your bag, your new sack, well, and a sack, I'm not sure if it's new, is it an outdoor research?
Yeah, it's an outdoor research, I can't remember the model, they've brought out a new one now, but it's like a dry bag with straps basically, as you can see. That's totally waterproof, all the seams are taped. 2 pockets, a rubbish front pocket, absolutely, there's no point in that being there. Ice sack straps and stuff, and compression straps so you can compress it right down. The idea is you use it within your main pack. It's for climbers, we'll use it in the main pack as a sort of auxiliary pack, and then they use it for summits or whatever. But for when it's really wet, for pack rafting for example, it's really useful for that. You can get paddles on the side. Yeah, it's great, and I've not used it for sort of a sustained period, and it performed very well. It's not got a waist strap, so it means I use a bum bag on the front, which gives me access to people need during the day without having to break the seal on the bag. So yes, that's an O&M bum bag, which has got things like my camera in it and things I might need day to day, some snacks.
It's quite handy having the dry bag today as well this morning with the weather as well.
Yeah, it was certainly down.
And you've got a new, the newest is the Pacific Outdoor. Which exact model is it? The new
the Ether Elite Regular. It's got it's just like a normal uninsulated lilo in effect, but it's got insulation over the torso area, just around here, which takes the rating up to an R value of 4, which is actually pretty high. So it'll be suitable in winter with a close-up foam mount underneath it or whatever. That's actually really high rating.
Has it been comfy for you?
Yeah, it was great. Last night, you can see I've not inflated it very fully tonight. I actually find it better, a little bit softer.
So a lot of the Neo Air users say that as well. I don't know if it's not fully inflated, it's a bit easier to sleep on.
Exactly, it's not as noisy as the Neo Air. And I find the vertical tubes a lot easier than the Neo Air as well. And the regular length is fine. I can fit my whole body. I can fit my whole body on it. It's fine. They do a longer length, which I can't really work out why, but
the big lads.
And in America, you can get a shorter length, which just covers the insulated bit.
Excellent. And you've got the Polypro ground sheet, and you've also got quite an interesting quilt as well.
Yep. So this is Jack's Arbetta Stealth quilt, which is a rectangular quilt. Small rectangular quilt, and with a foot box, which is removable. So it's got strip of Omni tape. It's got Omni tape running just on the bottom, like a foot box.
Right.
A little tie to tie it up.
And Omni tape's just like a Velcro, but not as aggressive as Velcro.
It's a sexless Velcro.
Sexless Velcro.
That's what I like to call it. That's true. I mean, it's not quite as scratchy and doesn't get caught in merino wool tops and things like that. Yeah, and so it's just a rectangular quilt. Pull these together like a foot box, or leave them open as a rectangular quilt. It's great. It's not.
It looks warm.
Yeah, it's cozy. It's not the lightest. It doesn't use a particularly high grade of down either, but it does the job.
Yeah.
It really does the job. I've used it for a couple of years now. It's been great.
Excellent stuff. Right, and I've got your bush buddy, and hopefully later on we might get that fired up. If not, we'll get it fired up in the morning. So thank you very much, Mr. Turner.
No problem. Sleep well.
Well, it's Sunday morning, and as you may be able to hear, it's raining slightly. It's been raining all night, quite a lot. Which again, it's been a good test for the tarp. And bizarrely this time it hasn't stretched at all. So whether it's just the fabric it stretched the first time when it was wet, and now it's had its one stretching, it seems to be alright. I've not had to retension, and as you might be able to hear, the rain is literally drumming down on it, which is one unintended consequence I didn't anticipate. There's actual noise of a rain or a very tight tarp. It's quite loud. So, anyway, they don't have the retention, and just not leaking. And just have a quick close up on the guy line, and you can see the rain pouring down it. I'm hoping the other chaps don't want to really go out and do much walking today.